Welcome to the Real Human Health Lab, where we break down real nutrition, movement and exercise, recovery, and how to improve your day to day well being. I'm Ollie, and every week we dive into one key topic to help you advance your knowledge and health with science backed studies and experiences. Let's get straight into it. Okay, and so for my very first episode in the Real Human Health Lab, I'm going to discuss vitamin D, which I would say is probably one of, if not the most important vitamin for us humans, which is a problem because over 1 billion people worldwide are actually deficient in this vitamin. And this vitamin really is crucial for your health, whether you're an athlete or even a brain rotter. This is so crucial for your health. In this first episode, we're actually going to be breaking down why vitamin D is so crucial for your health, how it affects men and women differently, the very best ways to actually get it, and how it can boost athletic performance and even everyday wellness. So let's jump right into it for the first segment, which is the full power of vitamin D. So, vitamin D is technically a pro-hormone, not a vitamin in a traditional sense. Your body synthesizes it when your skin is exposed to UVB rays, which come from sunlight. The first top science-backed benefit that this provides is bone health and calcium absorption. So, without vitamin D, your body actually can't absorb calcium properly. It doesn't matter how much you consume, it just won't absorb it correctly. That means sort of brittle bones, so you're going to have higher fracture risk, and conditions like rickets in children are seen. The second general benefit we get from vitamin D would be immune system support. So, vitamin D activates key immune defenses, including T cells and macrophages. It helps your body detect and destroy pathogens while at the same time keeping sort of inflammation around your body under control. Low levels of this have actually been linked to higher rates of respiratory infections and autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis and type 1 diabetes. This actually came from a study in 2011 by Aranau C, and it explains sort of vitamin D's essential immune role. The third key benefit from vitamin D would be mood, brain health, and depression. So, vitamin D is known to interact with receptors in the brain that actually influence mood and cognitive function. Personally, myself, whenever the sun is out and I get a decent amount of sun, I always just feel happier and I always just have much more energy and clear mind. As well as this, the deficiency has been linked to depression, especially sort of what you may know as seasonal affective disorder and can be known as SAD, which is common in winter months when you don't get enough sun. Some studies suggest that supplementation could improve serotonin activity and help stabilize the mood, which was seen in a study by Anglin RE in 2013. There's a strong connection between low vitamin D and depressive symptoms. The three extra general benefits that vitamin D provides is in our anti-inflammatory and chronic disease protection systems. It definitely boosts them, has been seen in multiple studies, as well as vitamin D being seen to help massively with heart and vascular health. Also, hormonal regulation and insulin sensitivity benefits from increased vitamin D levels. So we've discussed a couple of the general areas vitamin D helps. Let's get into sort of how vitamin D acts differently in men compared to women. Women are actually at a higher risk of deficiency, particularly when going through pregnancy, breastfeeding, and menopause. So it's crucial to make sure you're getting vitamin D in those stages. It's also essential for bone density, which is crucial after menopause because estrogen drops, and this causes an osteoporosis risk spike. It can also support fertility, sort of helping with healthy menstrual cycles, and can even be shown to help with PCOS symptoms. So, as a woman, it's definitely important to stay on top of getting your vitamin D levels at the right place. For men, vitamin D plays a key role in testosterone production. So, low levels of vitamin D have actually been linked to low testosterone, fatigue, and reduced libido, which, when I'm in the sun and I'm getting enough vitamin D, I do notice I experience lots more energy, higher boosts of testosterone, etc. So it is very key for men to stay on top of their vitamin D. You can get it tested, or you can just trial with a vitamin D supplement and see if you notice a difference. It can also be It also contributes to muscle growth and strength massively. This is because it's key for protein synthesis and also calcium and phosphate levels, which are essential for muscle growth and strength building in the male body. So, after that, I'm sure you're thinking it's definitely a vitamin that's very important, means a lot to our body to really strive as humans. So, you're probably thinking how the best way to get vitamin D effectively is. Number one, which is the most natural source, would be just straight sunlight. I know in the UK we do suffer a bit of zero sun, which is great, not. But if you can in the summer, make the most of the natural sunlight. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the best time to expose your skin to the sun. This is because the UV rays are the highest in this time period. Aim for 15 to 30 minutes of no sun cream, just straight sun on your skin. It does depend on your skin tone. If you're very pale skin and sort of susceptible to burning, then 30 minutes may be a bit of a push at midday. But just look at the different skin tones and how long it takes to absorb vitamin D. People with darker skin actually need more time in the sun to absorb this vitamin D. This is due to high melanin, so that actually reduces UVB absorption through the skin. So it is key to look at the skin tones and see how long you need to be in that sun at that time. One tip I would say, as I just said then, is that sunscreen actually does block vitamin D production. So if you can try and at least get 10 to 15 minutes before applying sunscreen, then do so. But don't overdo it. Obviously, know your limit, know when you're going to burn, and do it safely. And if you can, make sure your sun cream is a healthy, safe sun cream, so non-nano zinc oxide, etc. There is also obviously food sources. So we can get vitamin D from food. It can be hard to get to a high level of vitamin D just from food, but things like fatty fish, so salmon and mackerel, egg yolks, beef liver, and foods like milk, orange juice can help get vitamin D levels higher than they may normally be in your body. As with most vitamins, there's always the option to supplement. So a safe daily dose would be 1,000 to 4,000 IU daily. For most adults, obviously it depends. You should always speak to a physician or doctor. Higher doses may be used temporarily for those that are properly severely deficient. So you may be put on 10,000 IUs if you're very deficient. So it's always best to get a test if you can. If you have access to it, you can do it your own private, sort of buy it online or for a private doctor, or you can go through to the NHS, explain your symptoms, and hopefully get a test for your vitamin D, which will show whether you need to up that intake of vitamin D. So, as we've discussed, for sort of the average person, it has amazing benefits like boost your mood and energy and immune resilience. It helps prevent fatigue, brain fog, and aging. Healthy aging, that is, may reduce the risk of chronic illnesses. So there's many benefits as we've discussed, but for athletes specifically, there's three main benefits which are key for vitamin D consumption for an athlete. So the reason you want to be taking vitamin D is because it supports muscle strength, reaction time, and VO2 max massively, which are very important if you are an athlete, if you are part of a sport, so you take part in a sport, sorry. It also reduces the risk of stress fractures and tendon injuries. So if you are sort of two-a-days training hard, you want to make sure you reduce that risk of injury as much as you can and a simple fact of taking vitamin D can help reduce that risk. It does also aid massively in recovery and inflammation control, which again, if you're training heavily, you're going through heavy training cycles, you really want to decrease that risk of injury. You want to massively sort of boost that recovery rate, especially, for example, if you're training for a fight. You seriously want to make sure your recovery is very good and very smooth. So let's bring it down to a wrap up. So, vitamin D, hormonal balance, stronger bones, sharper thinking, and just overall better health in every aspect. The three takeaways I would take from this to really focus on is vitamin D impacts your entire body. So all these systems are impacted by vitamin D levels, your bones, your brain, your mood, and your muscles. Most people are deficient and don't actually know it. So get tested, even just trial with a little bit of a low level supplement, just see if you feel different. And three, just get some sun, get the right foods in, and supplement if needed. Always test stuff before you assume. That's the best way to do it. Have a little experiment. And obviously, in my opinion, I'm a massive advocate for vitamin D. I think it is key for performance as an athlete, as a human being. It is just one of the best vitamins for your body to run smoothly and just get through all your daily tasks and to live happily and strong. Okay, and thank you, people, for listening to my very first episode of the Real Human Health Lab podcast. If you enjoyed this or have any tips or recommendations for how you want me to explain things, or you have any questions on any of the specific topics, please message me directly and just spread this podcast to anyone that thinks they need a bit more health, a little more sunshine for the vitamin D. And next time we'll be talking about quite a cool topic, which is a bit more in depth, maybe a bit of a longer one, but it will be great. I will link below the references of every study I looked at to give you these facts and benefits. I will also add a 60-second cheat sheet for vitamin D in the description, so you can have a look at that if you just want a summary to come back to rather than listening to the full episode. You can find both of them in the description. I appreciate all of you. Have an amazing day. Until next time.